Everyone wants to launch a book these days, right? But how do you publish a book that generates over 7 figures? Today, we're going to dive into one of my $1 million funnels. And it's a book funnel called the Entrepreneur Evangelist. The surprising thing is that you don't need to sell thousands of copies to make $1 million. And I want to show you how that's possible. Let's get started.
Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Legacy Builders. Today we're going to talk about books, and more importantly, we're going to talk about how it doesn't require as many buyers as you think to create a 7-figure book funnel or $1 million funnel. And so, Bryan, give us kind of the moral of the story, and then walk us through this funnel for your 7-figure book funnel, because this is one of the best funnels that we can do a deep dive. There's so many lessons in here.
Yeah, so I would say, the moral of the story is you don't need a ton of buyers to make $1 million, right? Like that's a myth, right? Like a lot of people think, oh, I need a huge audience. I need to, I need to be doing a podcast. I need to be doing YouTube. I need to be doing Facebook. I need to be doing this, that, and the next thing, right? And you need 10 million followers or something, right? And that's false, right? So I want to give you some hope today that you don't need a ton of buyers, but you need the right people, right? So, another thing to consider here is that this is my first book I launched for myself, right? We've launched books for other people for, over the years. But this first book I launched for myself, I got the vision for it back in 2005 when I was at Liberty University, when I literally after I died and came back to life and found my purpose. And so going into it, I've already been, in the marketing game since 2006. So well over a decade, well over 15 years before I launched this book, right? But I want to break down some of the elements, right? So I'm going to break down the funnel, the ad campaigns. Like I want to share a little kind of under the hood here of this campaign, because there's been less than 1,000 book sales, actually less than 600. It's like as of today, it's like 562 book sales with an average cart value of $30.58. Okay, and I'll get into what that means, right? So it's like by the time someone checks out, when you average out all the orders, right, the average person who buys a free book, which is $9.95, right, is actually spending $30, right? Because it averages out because of the upsells and the pre-checkout offers and all these other things. And to date, there's been over $1 million in revenue that's come from this campaign. Okay. Now, obviously, it's not going to come from low ticket sales, right? So the big thing to understand when it comes to a book funnel, right, is number one, you're not going to make $1 million with your book, right? Like you should get that out of your head. All your money really should come from your back end offers, right? Your offers that help people produce results. Your back end offers, right? You're done with your programs. You're done for you programs. Your higher ticket programs is where you're going to make your money here. Okay, you're not going to make your money selling a book for free. That's not reality, right? But the name of the game really is what? How much does it cost to acquire a customer, and how fast can I profit from that, right? And so from our math as of now, we give the book away for free because I don't need to charge for the book. I just want to get it into the hands of as many people as possible. So we do $9.95 free plus shipping anywhere in the country. Mainly we do US because the reality is, like someone from Europe or Germany or like somewhere around the world is probably not going to fly in to work with our agency. And so with that in mind, I'm not going to launch a book to Australia or United Kingdom or Germany or whatever. I'm not going to launch outside the United States because those people are not likely to fly in, right? And my back end involves, people flying in, meeting in person and working in our offices in Sarasota and being together. So that was a strategic decision, is US only. But the interesting part about the funnel, and you can see the funnel at entrepreneurevangelist.com. Again, entrepreneurevangelist.com. But we got the book, right? Free plus shipping. Then we have a $37 pre-checkout offer. Now this is, basically you're going through the order form. Before you process your credit card, you have the opportunity to select 2 pre-checkout offers. And that is an audiobook and a signed copy of my book. And then the other one is a $47 bump offer. So $37 bump is for my audio, and the $47 bump is for award-winning funnels. And the take rate on it as of now is about 11% are saying yes to the bump offer of the $47 award-winning funnels, right? So about 10%. It's a little low. I'd like to see it higher. which means that we just have to adjust the copy and do some split testing, right? Okay, so the next one is a $37 bump offer, and that is the audiobook and the signed copy. That has about 9.5% take rate on that, right? And then we have an OTO, and that's for $297. We have 4.4% take that OTO at $297. And then we have the order confirmation. The order confirmation, this is a really important tip here. The order confirmation is also a bonus training video. And then we move people from there into the agency, into requesting a quote, into scheduling a call with our team to see how we can help them. Okay. And that's it, right? So it's real simple, right? It's a sales page, order form with an OTO page and a thank you page leading out to an application funnel. Okay. The math is which generated about 17,000 in front end sales, right? So that's why I say, the moral of the story is, you don't need a ton of buyers to make a lot of money, right? Obviously that $17,000 is a flush. It's a wash because, it cost us about $25 to acquire a book buyer. So when we're advertising on Facebook, we're advertising on YouTube, we're advertising on Instagram, it's costing us about the same price of the average cart value. Okay. And I'm cool with that. Like, I don't need to make any money on my front end. In fact, I can go upside down on my front end. I would prefer, obviously, to profit, but even just breaking even, I'm totally fine with that, right? I'm fine with exchanging $20 for $20. Like, totally cool with that every day, every single day, every single minute of every single day. Like, totally cool with that because we have a back end, and we have a back end of our agency where the prices are anywhere from $15,000 up to over $1 million because we are profit partners with campaigns. So we get paid 10 to 20% from the revenue that we produce from our clients and our partners' campaigns. Does that make sense? So for me in my agency, we have every offer you can imagine, right? We've got done do it yourself, we have done with you, we have done for you. Okay. And so we have a wide array of offers, which allows us to get our lifetime value up and it allows us to make more money per person. Right. So the reality here is you don't need a ton of buyers to make $1 million. If you have a value ladder that serves people deeper, like we do with our agency perfect funnel system. Right. And so I think that's the big lesson here is your book campaign really is to pay for the acquisition of traffic. Right. Like, I want you to understand it through that lens. Okay. Obviously you want to get your average cart value beyond $30. Really, the sweet spot is between 60 and 70. So this is technically low, obviously a lot lower than that, but I'm okay with it, right? I obviously want it to be better. So we're split testing, running new ad copy, new ad creatives, obviously all those things, right? That's part of scaling campaigns. But you want to obviously, stack your pre-checkout offers and your and OTOs in a way that gets your average cart value up. Okay. If all I had, think about this for a second. If all I had was the book, my average cart value would be $9.95 because that's all I would have. And think about how many authors out there, that's all they have. They just sell a book, right? That's why I never recommend just running traffic to Amazon. Right? You're not going to be able to do upsells. You're not going to be able to do all this other fancy stuff with funnels if that's what you're doing, right? Now put it on Amazon because you want it there. People can write reviews and all that jazz. Like, that's great. But you want it going through a funnel. Right. That's why funnels are so powerful. It's because you can get your average cart value up to $30 and you can move people down a path that you want them to go. Right. That's really what a funnel is, right? It's a pathway people take to give you money and for you to serve them deeper. That's it. Right. The simplistic version of that. Okay. So that's number one. The second lesson is to buy traffic. Don't be afraid to spend money to acquire buyers, right? If you understand, first of all, if you have a value of offers, if you have a value ladder of offers that serve people on a deeper level, right? And you have enough skin in the game for people to make investments with you, right? So you have enough meat on the bone, if you will, right? If you're doing a book, selling a course, bad strategy. Okay. That's not a good strategy. You need some deeper level programs. You need some higher level programs, higher ticket, 5K, 10K, 15K, 20. You need something higher ticket than $9.95 and $500 or $9.95 and $1,000, right? Because the reality is he who can spend more to acquire a customer wins, right? So if your competitor has higher ticket offers and you don't, who's going to win out that game, right? I think the writing's on the wall with that one, right? So again, don't be afraid to spend money. It takes money to make money. And that is certainly true with advertising. So that's number 2. Number 3 is have a direct path for people. Number 3 is to have a direct path for people to move into your higher level programs, right? So you notice how my book funnel runs, right? It's sales page order form, OTO, order confirmation page. That order confirmation page has a bonus training on it, and it's worth actually buying the book just to go through the process and see it. And then it takes you out to apply, right? So it's a clear path for people to go into your back end. That's very important. Your front end and back end should be a lockstep. They should be dancing together. If you've got a well thought through funnel system, your front end sales process and back end sales process of your offers need to be dancing together. Okay. Most aren't. Number 4 is, having a fat enough value ladder where your lifetime value, can be thousands of dollars, not $10, for example. Okay. So that's a huge lesson. If you're an expert, you're building an expert business, you're just leaving a ton of money on the table if you're not doing done with you or done for you, or a combination of both. So the moral of the story here, guys, is book funnels are great. You don't need a ton of buyers. Obviously, you see from our case study here, it's less than 1,000 customers produces over $1 million in revenue for us. So book funnels are great, but the book funnel is not something you should launch as your first offer. Okay. Remember, I launched this in 2021, actually. 2021 is when I launched this thing. I've been in this business for over 15 years before I actually launched a book funnel. So if you thought about writing a book, that's awesome. Okay. Go ahead. Get your book done, but understand that you need to perfect and you need to really dial in your back-end offers, because your back-end offers is where you make all your money. The faster you come to the realization that all your money is going to be made from your higher touch, higher ticket offers, the more money you're going to make, the less stress you're going to have. Everything's going to go better for you. You're going to be able to actually be in this industry long term, compared to everyone else who thinks like, oh, I need to launch a book. Oh, I need to launch a podcast. Oh, I need to launch a YouTube show. And they're doing all these things, but they're putting the cart before the horse. So please, whatever you do, focus on your high ticket, focus on your high touch programs, and really develop out those programs to produce results for those you serve, because everything gets easier when you have a mountain of evidence of people that you've helped. Okay. And that's really the moral of that story.
Yeah. So many people want to publish a book, especially so many business owners want to publish a book, and they think about making $1 million from book sales and all this stuff. And I think they have it backwards. And so I think this episode, talking through this funnel really shows how a book should be laid out.
Yeah. I think a lot of people do the Amazon route, right? That I want to be an Amazon bestselling author. And the reality is that's really easy, and it's gamified. Like it's gamed. Like the whole thing is gamed. Even all the way up to New York Times, it's all gamed. And so, a lot of us know that, right? A lot of your audience knows that. My audience definitely knows it because we're in the marketing game, and they all know that you can hack that. So if that's gamed, like the reality is, I was asked, are you going to launch your book and make it an Amazon bestseller? I'm like, no, I don't really care about that. I don't need the credential. Now, if you need the credential because you don't have enough results, then great. Go get the Amazon bestselling author status, right? All it is status, right? But I would encourage you to let your results speak for themselves, not some award that's manufactured, because all you need to do is sell a couple hundred copies in an hour to make an Amazon bestselling author. And you can give away your book for 99 cents and do that really fast. So if you need the credibility, cool, get it. But at the end of the day, I chose a book funnel for this because I control that process, right? I control the narratives throughout that entire process. I send them off to Amazon land. I don't control it anymore. It's out of my hands, and people are off on their own device buying who knows what, right? So it's just a bad strategy sending it off to Amazon when you can have a book funnel, boost your lifetime value and your average cart value, and get it high enough so you can actually spend money to acquire buyers. A lot of people have books. They're sending their traffic to Amazon. They're never going to get their average cart value up to 60 to 70 bucks. It's never going to happen because people are going to buy one book or one audio book, right? So that's my advice. My advice is be strategic about when you launch a book funnel. And then when you do launch a book funnel, hire the right people to help you create the narratives of that funnel, because at the end of the day, that's what it boils down to. And then last thing here is optimize as you scale, right? So $30 is great, but you should always be trying to make it better, right? And that's where split testing comes into play. Split test your funnels, split test your campaigns, split test everything, right? And try to get that puppy up to 60 to $70 because you're going to make a lot more front end revenue when you do that.
Yeah. And I think the best way for people to see this is go get the book. So where can people go and actually see the funnel?
Yeah, absolutely. So go to entrepreneurevangelist.com. If you have trouble spelling that, you can go to bryandulaney.com and you'll find the book on my website, and just click over and go to, again, entrepreneurevangelist.com.
Awesome. And we'll also have that linked in the show notes. This has been great to kind of demystify how to build a 7-figure book funnel and how to have a 7-figure launch for the book. So Bryan, thanks for sharing some of your expertise, and to the listeners, we'll see you next time here on Legacy Builders.
Thank you for joining me on Legacy Builders. And I would encourage you to come back to the next episode next week to get more clarity on your journey to launch your expertise online, scale your impact, and build your legacy. If you're ready to get the process started of launching your expertise online the right way, then I recommend go to launchexpertise.com, or maybe you're at a place where you're ready to really scale your expertise and your impact. Go to launchexpertise.com. There you'll have several options. Number one, you can get a free copy of my brand new book, The Entrepreneur Evangelists, which I share the secrets that have unlocked more than $300 million of results for my clients, my partners, and our own campaigns. You could also join a 33 days of coaching with me that's free, where I give you insights and wisdom on your journey to launching your expertise and scaling your impact over the course of 33 days. And that's worth at least $5,000, but for right now, you can get it for free. And lastly, if you're someone who wants to take the absolute faster, smarter path when it comes to launching your expertise online and scaling your impact, I'd recommend scheduling a call with my team where we can see how we can support you to crush goals and generate 7 or 8 figures yourself in a short period of time. We have more awards than nearly anyone in the entire community, and for good reason. And we would love to help you just like we've helped them. I look forward to seeing you on the next episode of Legacy Builders.